was just looking at this. I think that's a date code, 1038. So that makes it 1938. Since we know it works, I'm going to go ahead and change these rest of these paper capacitors. I only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. The rest have already been done. The hardest one to do is going to be this one down here. It's going to be a pain to get to. I'm not sure how I'm going to access that, but I'll figure it out. Changed a couple of these capacitors here. Changed these two right here. And I also changed this 100K resistor. It was out of tolerance. It measured 146. So that's no good. Now I'm going to go on to this. And these three. Okay. All of the capacitors are changed. Changed all of these. This resistor down here. Changed this one, these two up here. I think that was about it. Put that back down. This one was really hard to get to. Very difficult. For things like that, you can use these small little clippers. And they work pretty well for reaching into difficult areas like that. So that's what I did. Anyway, capacitors are all changed. I think this radio, you know, this cord, I don't like these clear cords. They just don't really look right on something from the 30s. I think I'm going to go ahead and give it one of my good quality brown rubber cords. So I'm going to do that and come back. I just have to show you this. If you ever want to know how not to solder, that right there is how not to. Not the world's best, but that's closer to what it should look like. Here's our parts.
Snowdrift, the winter weather. Past 5.
KFEG Long Island is asking all customers to be prepared since tree limbs could snap off onto wires and knock out power. We do still expect wind and freezing temperatures.
You know, on Google,
It's broken down on 95 southbound in Bridgeport. It's right near exit 29 and takes out the right lane. And then in New Jersey, over by the Monmouth Mall, we've got a malfunctioning traffic light and electrical repairs on 36 northbound at 35 in Eatontown.
Sound is
All lanes
good.
are being closed intermittently. 80, that knocks out the right lane.
Okay.
And in New York, got a collision on the
Shut this off. So it's working. Next step, I think I'm going to test the tubes, and we'll look at that 6K6 versus 6V6 and see about swapping that over. We're going to test the tubes in the Stromberg Carlson. So I've got the 6K6 in first. I've set it. Tests good. Okay. Now we got the 6K7 set up. On, let's see. Oops. Pretty good. Here is the 6A8. Tests good. This is the 80. This tester doesn't have a reading for an 80. It has a 5Z3, which is close. So that's what I'm using. It's going to test weak, so it should be in the replace, and it should be okay. So let's see. In fact, it tests very strong. So that, well, it's weak for a 5Z3, but it's strong for an 80, so we should be good there. Okay, the only other one is the 6Q7, which this tester will not test. So we're out of luck on that one, but the radio is working, so I think it's all right. Found a 6v6 here. This is just from my tube pile. So let's see if it tests all right. Tests pretty good. Okay, let's do it one more time.
Some new people coming back to open up the business.
He was hoping the holiday brings back.
This is with the 6K6.
WQ City has News Radio 888.
You're the tiger. Could that bode well? Known as Kanye West. You come here to perform, but you might want to go back and watch the news.
Story in terms of what they look at, and a lot of
I'm gonna power this up with the 6v6, and we'll see if we can hear a difference.
Area and has received the highest possible U.S. news. To the Seaford Way westbound's going to jam up from right around the Beth page over to Baldwin. Looking for a second opinion, the Valley Hospital is committed to providing patients with exceptional clinical care and service. To make an appointment, call 1-800-VALLEY-1.
Not sure if there's much difference with the 6v6. It's maybe a little more volume.
Do you have bad credit but need a new car? Do you have trouble getting a car loan for any reason? Call Credit Solutions. TrannySundaySauce.com and LifeTalkMarietta.com.
Dad.
Some interference down here.
Anywhere. I think very highly of Byron Leftwich.
How about Nico Lyons in a job?
It was pretty interesting, you know?
Throughout the facility, so the violence continues. If they opened up the central punitive
So I think what we should do is go ahead and align it. We're going to align the IF on this. I have my signal generator set at 455. Have it connected, as in the instructions, to the, well, you can see it's the 6A8 oscillator. And what we're going to do is go in here and turn these screws, if I can see them, to increase the volume of this signal. Again. Just now I'm going to turn it down just a little. I'm going to do over here. Turn the signal down, and we'll just do it one more time. Maybe. Beautiful. I'm gonna shut this off. Oh, actually. So we should have much better alignment now. Let's just do a quick, just put that out. Just do a quick scan of the band.
Now, I'm going to hold this for you. This is one and parlay of 3 legs or more on the Super Bowl, and if you don't win, FanDuel will refund you. Build your parlay any way you want with spreads, money lines, totals, Super Bowl props, and more. If you're
Nothing, or it is an open insult to
Alignment is
Italians. Check out
done with the IFs anyway. Very sensitive. Sorry for the interference.
It's now going to be Day/Indigenous Peoples Day. You know, a lot of people.
So it's working. Pretty happy with it.
You still have it as Columbus Day. Let's.
on medical workers. We said, yeah, you better get a booster. We're going to fire you. People that were diving on
Two-position tone
COVID grenades
control.
and working in COVID petri dishes, for over 2 years. And the same with truckers. If truckers ever stop,
Seems pretty good. One thing I noticed, volume all the way down. It's not quite silent. You know, I don't know. I'm not too worried about it.
They kept trucking, and you know what? We weren't asking them if they had a vaccine or a booster.
So I think
they bravely went out there. They did.
Now 187 refers in slang to.
Unlike other weight loss systems, NJ Diet is all natural.
dial is
no
fairly
shots,
accurate.
no hormones, no
It's a little off, but
for people 18 and older. That means there are now
Could probably
two
get it a
polio groups
little
out.
better.
The other one is Pfizer's.
Actually.
Bloomberg Money Watch at 20.
3322. 800-901 3322. That's 800-901.
Are their names, and they are also martyrs.
I'm just about Cincinnati. Yeah, because a lot of these teams move, they leave, they come back. Because it would show us, the aptitude and some growth. I'm not saying I want.
I was talking about climbing a mountain. Well, I'm still climbing my mountain, and I'm right at
Let me see that. But that's part of the problem. Spacing is an issue with the Knicks because they don't. These people. They're great. Yeah, when? Where do you have to go back to? Joe Namath to when they were great in the 1960s?
so it's working. There's a little bit of a hum.
In the Broadway world, this is
Not sure where it's picking up the hum from. I'm thinking it's probably something to do with the bias cell, because it looks like the way that that's in the circuit is that it's the sound, the audio going right into the volume control. It's going through the bias cell, which is a little weird. Anyway, I'm thinking it's picking up from there, but I don't have anything to replace it with right now, so.
Then it would go to the presses, and then when you came out.
Now, to open. The Nets continue their West Coast trip in Phoenix against the Suns.
Volume's
The best team
good,
in the NBA,
performance is good. This
49.
is with
They've won
the
10 games in a row. The Rangers face
this is with the 6v6 in it.
at the Garden tonight. Also a big game for St. John's. The Red
I had it playing for a while the other day, and it's working just fine.